Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Asif. I am a Red Hat instructor and I am working with Corning Solutions Private Limited. Goal of today is LFCS course, which is Linux Foundation Certified Sysadmin. The prerequisite for this course is all the students should have knowledge of CentOS 7 installation and as well as some basic commands. For example, file and directory creations, copy, move, deletions for the files and directories, and counting the data, scrolling the data, etc. So now, what are the outlines for this course? Actually, this is a lengthy course. This is the beginning level course for the Linux. So I will explain all the chapters briefly one by one. So let's start. The first chapter is processing text stream in Linux. In this chapters, we will discuss about SID command. SID stands for stream editor, right? The next chapter is edit files using Vim. Actually, this is the latest tool for editing any text files. We will discuss about these tools in this chapter. And the third chapter is archiving and compression tools and some file basic permissions. Means in these chapters we will discuss about all the compression tools and tar command to make archive, as well as we will discuss about some default permissions when we create a file and directories. Some default permissions get by defaults. Okay. The next chapter is partitioning storage device and configure swap partitions. Means in these chapters we will discuss about how can I create and format the standard partitions and as well as how can I configure the swap partitions. Right? The next chapter is about mount and unmount file systems. In these chapters, we will discuss about how can I mount and unmount my local and remote storage, temporary and permanent also. The next chapter about managing the startup process and related services. In these chapters, we will discuss about a very interesting process which is systemd, and we will discuss about also how can I start, stop and check the status of any services in the Linux machines, right? The next chapter is user and groups management. In these chapters we will discuss about how can I create the users and groups, how can I log in by users, how can I modify the account and authentication information of the users, and how can I set the permissions to the local user as administrative commands. Okay, the next chapter is package management. In the chapters we will discuss about how can I install and uninstall the application in the Linux machines. Fine. The next chapter is shell script concept. In the chapters we will cover to create a shell script file to automate the task in the Linux machine. And the 10th number of chapter is about LVM, which is logical volume management. A very important chapters. In these chapters, we will cover how can I create LVM to combine the multiple storage as a single unit, and how can I resize the size of mounted partitions. Then the next chapter is system documentation to take the help. In these chapters, we will discuss about How can I take the help about the Linux commands? No need to go to the Google, right? The next chapter is grub bootloader and troubleshoot the issues. Define default bootloader, which is grub, and some common issues we can fix that. The next chapter about process managements. How can I monitor the running process? How can I check the stop process? And how can I kill the process? Okay. The next chapter is SA Linux and App Armor. These services actually related to the protection to the data, security related chapters. We will discuss about it. And the next chapter is ACL and user quota. How can I set the limitation to the user to store the information or to use the storage? And we will discuss about ACL also, which is advanced permissions. The next chapter is setting up network services, means some network related services. For examples, how can I set or change the IP addresses, and how can I install Samba, NFS, all the services. The next chapter is FTP service, install and configure. As you can read in these chapters, we will install the FTP services and configure also. The next chapter is cache only DNS server configurations. Okay, so all these chapters we will discuss and cover in the LFCS course. So by tomorrow we will start from the